make sure this is working. Make sure we're live right now. Pretty sure we are. Hopefully that worked. If that didn't work, that would be really awkward. Because I had a fancy new intro, and if that did not get caught on video, that would be unfortunate. This is my first time streaming with it scheduled ahead of time. So, figuring that out right now. But how's it going, guys? Yeah, I wanted to schedule this one ahead of time just so everyone knew when it was coming, because I've been a little sporadic about when I was doing these streams, so I'm going to try and be more regular. So I'll try to give you guys lots of heads up in the future so you can kind of tune in live and hang in the chat and have a good time. So, welcome back to Around the Boxes. This is my live stream series where I hang out around the boxes, show you guys comic books in my collection, new pickups, new editions, talk about the latest and greatest in the comic book, pop culture industry, all of that stuff. So I got a great stream for you guys today. Lots to go over. Yeah. What's up? Anyone who's hopping in live, leave your comments in the chat. I'd love to, if you got topics, questions, things like that, we'll kind of go as we go along. But otherwise, I've got some pre-prepared things to talk about. I got a lot of comic books to show you guys. This is a good one. All right, this is a good one. Believe me when I tell you, you want to stay till the end to see my pickups for this week, because as the title suggests, I am expanding my collection, and as the thumbnail suggests, those are some Silver Age comic books. So you do not want to miss that. I'm just going to make sure that the stream is up and working and looking good and all of that. Looks like it is. I think it might have missed my intro, which is really unfortunate. So, next time. We'll get that next week. I'm pretty sure, yeah, because I didn't realize that if you have it scheduled beforehand, I hit live on the streaming software, and then you have to hit live on the website. I saw after I started the music, it said, go live, and then I hit it. So, if you're watching this as a video, you're probably like, what intro are you talking about? I guess I could show you guys again. I'm going to show you guys. Boom! Welcome back again to Around the Boxes. We're just rolling it back. Second intro. It's like it never happened. I don't know what you guys are talking about. It just started. We just started the stream now. That was not a second intro. That was the first intro. That's where we started from the beginning. That was the whole thing. So I will not make that mistake next time, and we'll be ready to go, and it'll be there right from the beginning. But yeah. Anyway, we don't need to listen to the music again. But yeah, whipped that together. I thought it'd be cool. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe just be nice. But I got a lot of things I want to talk to you guys about today. First of all, and this is a big one. As I'm trying to fix my hair, I need a haircut really bad in case you can't tell, so if I keep fiddling with my hair, ignore me. We need to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home, because, that's been a lot of information coming out about it. There's a lot of talk of a trailer, still no trailer. How crazy would it be if this trailer dropped while we're live today? It's possible, but there is lots going on in the world of Spider-Man. First of all, confirmed that Sandman and Lizard are going to be in it. How true is that? I don't know. I'm going to take these off. I don't need them right now. I don't know if I would say that it's confirmed, but people are saying it's confirmed because of this tweet here, which I had a second link to, where it had some pictures from the magazine article, where on the bottom here it says, worlds which include Rhys Ifans' The Lizard, Thomas Hayden Church's Sandman, and Jamie, presumably, Electro, Jamie Foxx. So, first of all, these screenshots, these pictures look awesome. Getting to see a bit of Doc Ock is great. I'm very excited for Dr. Octopus in this movie. But does that confirm Lizard and Sandman? I guess it does. I thought there was a pretty good chance they were going to be in it. It just really seemed like they were teasing that. It is interesting that the director is still claiming that these are just rumors, but I mean, we have pictures of this magazine, so unless those are fake, it's possible. Basically, every single, I mean, right here, yeah, he says they're still just rumors, but his tone is deadpan, whatever that means. So, I mean, with any information about these, if it's not coming in a trailer, I'm taking it with a grain of salt. You know, I will believe when I go to see the movie, then I will believe. I do think it would be strange if they went ahead and did 5 Spider-Man villains and didn't just go ahead and complete out the 6. I think that would be really odd. You know, like if you're gonna go as far as 5 Spider-Man villains in one Spider-Man movie, you might as well just make it the Sinister Six. So I would have to guess that there will probably be a 6th villain in this movie. Now, who would that be? I don't know. It could be Venom. My theory, I think, well, it could be Vulture, of course. Vulture's in the MCU, and he's still alive. It could be Scorpion, who's in the MCU. But my personal theory and my favorite theory is that it's actually Mysterio. I've been saying this ever since Far From Home came out. There is no way Mysterio is dead. There's no way Mysterio is dead. He's Mysterio. Like, his whole thing is tricking Peter. And so, you know, in the movie, he dies, and then Peter suspects that it's fake, and he asks Edith, he says, you know, Edith, and she goes, no illusions detected or whatever. But it could have been not an illusion. He could have just been like faking his death chemically or something like that. But also, let's not forget that Edith was under the control of Mysterio. So he could have just programmed her to say that, or ordered her, or told her to, or whatever. So I think there's a very good chance, given that this movie is dealing so heavily with the fallout from Far From Home, and Mysterio, you know, is going to be talked about a lot in this movie. I think it would be a really cool twist to see him come back and kind of assemble the Sinister Six with all of these different villains. So that would be my guess. I think they'll probably, if Lizard and Sandman are going to be in this movie, then they should just round out the 6 and do the full Sinister Six. Will they do that? I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. But you know, I had to talk about this because, I mean, this movie, there's just new news every day. And speaking of this movie, this is interesting tidbit. Sony is releasing 4K Spider-Man movies. The Tobey Maguire trilogy and then the Andrew Garfield trilogy here. They're releasing them, and they just did this. These just came out. So a lot of people are kind of taking this as confirmation that they are going to be in No Way Home. Again, is that confirmation? No. Do I think they're going to be in No Way Home? Yes, I do. I at this point, I feel like there's no way they're not in No Way Home. But it's one of those things, I'll believe it when I see it. Until I see them in a trailer or I see them in the movie theater, I will believe it when I see it, because I just don't know. I would guess, and this is kind of why everyone is so eager to get the new trailer, I would guess they will probably confirm if they're in it in the new trailer, like they would show up in one shot or something. The reason I say that is because, I mean, if they're in the movie, they're going to go to the movie premiere. So they kind of have to confirm it before the premiere, because otherwise Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to show up at the premiere and everyone's going to know. So I think there's a solid chance that they will confirm it in the trailer that's going to come out soon. But at this point, I mean, with all the speculation and all the hype around this movie, if they're not in it, this movie's going to tank. Which is a real shame, because even if they're not in it, this movie is still awesome. Like, if we had never, ever considered the possibility of them being in this movie, and they just came out with a Spider-Man movie that had Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, what's his name? I'm blanking on his name, but Green Goblin, and all these villains by the same actors from all these past movies. I mean, that itself is awesome. I mean, even just Alfred Molina, Doc Ock is awesome. But now everyone has their hopes up for Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield to show up. So if they don't, this movie's gonna get a lot of hate. So hopefully that's not the case. But I would expect, we'll have to see how it goes. I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I'm also nervous because people have built up the absolute highest of expectations. I mean, arguably even higher expectations than people did for Endgame, and that was, again, one of the most anticipated superhero movies of all time. So there's going to be a lot of people disappointed. I mean, that's just a fact of the nature of this movie. There's going to be people who are disappointed with it, so we'll see how people react. I don't know how it's going to go, but that would be my guess. I think they're going to be in it. At this point, there's like Sony is obviously aware that people are expecting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield to be in it. For like a year now, people have been talking about it. So there is apps, and Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield certainly know. I mean, they've both been asked about it in interviews and everything. So if they aren't in it and they've been getting asked about it all this time, there's no way Sony wouldn't call them up and say, hey, we need to write you into this movie and do some reshoots, because if we don't, this movie's going to fail. So there's no way they won't be in it. They might not be in it as much as people are hoping. It might just be like the ending fight or like an after credits or something. I think they'll probably have a big portion in the movie, but I mean, who knows? Who knows, man? I don't know what they're going to do with it. I hope it's really good. I mean, this is shaping up to possibly be one of the best Spider-Man movies ever, if they pull it off, because they have tried to do some lofty things before and it never worked out. Amazing Spider-Man 2 tried to set up Sinister Six. That failed. Spider-Man 3 tried to have a bunch of villains, and that failed. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but I am cautiously optimistic. But let's see. We still alive? Yeah, we're still alive. Why does that say? I don't know. This whole setup is different. Scheduling the stream. I've never seen this before. What else is going on in the MCU? Eternals is about to come out. Oh, I just swallowed water down the wrong pipe. Hang on. Oh. Eternals is about to come out. It's starting to get some reviews, and it's not getting great reviews. It's got 63 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is interesting. I don't really take reviews to mean that much. I mean, there have been plenty of movies that I love that have gotten bad reviews. Even in the MCU. I mean, Thor: The Dark World is one of the lowest rated MCU movies, and I love that movie. So, you know, it definitely varies, and it doesn't matter too much. So I wouldn't look at this and go, oh, this movie's going to suck. Like, go into it and see it for yourself. I'm going to be going into it with an open mind, and I'm really looking forward to it. I really want to like it, so I hope it's really good. But let's see. An ambitious superhero epic that soars slightly more often than it strains. Eternals takes the MCU in intriguing and occasionally confounding new directions. Where can I read? Oh, here we go. Eternals is busy showing off what it can do, where it can go, that it bypasses and overlooks what it really has to offer. There are real dilemmas, real battles of interest buried beneath the soft-pedaled, naturally lit, cozy surfaces of the movie. Despite the depth of the ensemble and the acting talents assembled to bring it to life, these Eternals really only come in 3 varieties: brooding, quippy, and both. But then these people say Eternals is almost a miraculous film. So, obviously it varies. Well, I mean, that's a shame. I don't think it really is going to reflect too much on how the audience will receive it. You know, either they'll be about the same, or, you know, audiences might love it. Just out of curiosity, what was Venom 2's rating? Yeah, 60. Oh, wait, that's not good. I hope Eternals isn't as bad as Venom 2. That would be... Ooh. I didn't see Venom 2, so I guess I can't say that, but I heard bad things about it. But, I mean, that right there was a perfect example, though. I mean, critic rating 60, but the audience score was 84, so... I mean, audiences liked it, critics didn't, so I think Eternals could definitely be a similar story. What was Thor: The Dark World? 66, audience score 75. So I think it'll probably be something like that. Critics tend to be a little bit harsher, especially on superhero movies and Marvel movies especially. So I wanted to mention the ratings on Eternals, but I don't think it's too big of an issue. I'm still going to see it. It's not going to really change that. And I hope it's really good. Hopefully it ends up being something really good. I'm excited. I'm not actually seeing it opening night, though. I'm seeing it the next weekend. So I'm going to have to avoid spoilers for a week. I know there was the spoilers of Harry Styles casting. That's not a big deal. But yeah, I'm gonna have to stay off the internet for a week. But I'll probably talk about it on an episode of Around the Boxes. Once I see it, I'll probably have my thoughts and review before on one of those episodes. But here's an interesting thing. I wanted to check this out. This is also about a Spider-Man trailer, but not the... oh, that got really dark. Hold on. Not the No Way Home trailer, though. This is a movie you guys might have heard about called Spider-Man Lotus. This is a fan-made Spider-Man movie. I hadn't heard about this until the teaser trailer came out, which that came out 3 months ago. So that was the first time I had heard about this, but this was basically a fan-made Spider-Man movie. They did crowdfunding. They did, I think this guy just wrote and directed it and got a bunch of his friends to act in it. And it kind of blew up a little bit. I mean, he's a relatively small YouTuber, but the trailer came out 14 hours ago and has 237,000 views, which is honestly crazy. I haven't actually seen it yet, so I wanted to watch it live here on Around the Boxes and kind of check it out. So let's watch it. But everyone should go and check out. I mean, I'll put a link after the stream is published as a video. I'll put a link in the description to his channel, or I'll put it to the trailer. So you can go check it out. I mean, make sure you leave a like and subscribe and check out the creator. Hopefully he's fine with me watching and reacting to it here. But yeah, I mean, let's check it out. So let me make sure my audio is good here, and let's see. It's pretty good, cinematography, camera quality. GJK. I'm curious to see, because I know I heard that it's supposed to be a more grounded Spider-Man, because obviously they're not a massive studio. I mean, they can't do massive visual effect fight scenes, but I heard that there is some visual effects, so I'm curious to see kind of where the balance is on how they do it. That's a drone shot. Very nice. That is an obviously fake newspaper. There's no backside.
Don't think of this as a goodbye tape. Think of it more as a checking in tape.
Okay, so post Gwen death. I think I had heard that before. Mary Jane?
So here I am.
The costume's cool. It still looks a little homemade, but I mean, I guess it is technically, so. I take it that's Peter then.
And then I miss you. I miss you, Gwen. Whoever he thinks I am, I'm not. You've seen the headlines. Figure it out.
Okay.
toy in there.
I really wonder, like, how does Disney not, like, shut them down, or Sony? How do those copyright laws work? I mean, how exactly are they able? I mean, I know they're not selling this. Like, if they're selling this movie, then they would get sued and stuff. But, like, since they're releasing it for free, they can just do that. I mean, that's crazy.
Entire life. You are his hero. So please, give him something to believe in.
Next year.
We all lost something. But I think we gained something too.
I will always be Spider-Man. Not because I want to, but because I have to.
He's got literally got Spider-Man comics on the. That's breaking some fourth walls here. It's like, oh yeah, these Spider-Man comics, but also Spider-Man's real in this universe. That's funny. I have all those. That's Learning to Crawl. And Volume 4, Issue 1. I have them. So this kid's sick, it looks like. Is this like a Make-A-Wish situation? Hey, that was pretty good.
Not because I...
That's pretty good. Oh, this looks like the shot from Brand New Day. The party with Harry and MJ and all them. But special effects on this swinging looks pretty good. Right here.
I love you, Gwen Stacy.
Spider-Man, Lotus. So they're still kind of keeping a lot. They didn't really show much of. Is there a villain in this movie, or is it just about like him and the kid? I don't really know enough about it.
Spider-Man.
Oh. I guess that answers that question. Cool. Hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I will definitely watch that when it comes out. I really hope that it is good. I know that sounds bad. It looks good, but like it would be a real shame because they're really hyping this up, and then if they dropped it and it was like really bad, that would be unfortunate. Obviously, I don't think that's gonna happen, but that would really be unfortunate if that happened because it looks cool. I think it's awesome that they're doing that. I mean, that's just really cool. Like every Spider-Man nerd, you know, has always dreamt of writing their own Spider-Man movie, right? Like I would love to make a Spider-Man movie. I would love to write my own Spider-Man comic book. You know, like everyone has always thought of or dreamt of doing that. So, I mean, kudos to them for actually doing it. That's awesome. I'm really curious because I know they did some crowdfunding, through Indiegogo. I don't know how much they raised for it, but $68,000. Wow. Non-profit psychological study of Peter Parker as he's confronted by the guilt of his past. Because I was really curious to see, like, did they hire these actors? Or did they, or is it just like their friends? I'm really curious where they got the actors for this, but let's flip through this because I kind of want to check this out because this looks pretty crazy. Can you still back it? No. Or can you? You can still back it, so I'll put this link in the description as well. Actually, I could probably add those links now. I'm gonna throw these links in the description because you guys should go and check those out. And support if, you know, send some support their way because that's super cool. I might be wrong about being able to still back it. I don't actually know if you can or not. It looks like you can, but I mean, I don't know. But let's check this out. So we got synopsis. Growing up, Spider-Man was always a massive part. Can you guys see that? Here, I'll put it here. Spider-Man was always a massive part of my life, whether it was a distraction from problems at home or an escape into a world greater than myself. He was there with me every step of the way, not as a flawless idol, but as someone I could directly relate to. Peter Parker is endearing because he isn't perfect. He gives up, he falls short, he collapses under pressure. Rather than an icon, he's there to reassure the world that they are not alone in their struggles. He is reacting, failing, and prevailing just like anyone else. With this film, we want to dive into his natural human flaws, what defines a man who is crushed by his own mind. We pulled from hundreds of different comic books over the years, whether it was written by Stan Lee, Jerry Conway, Tom DeFalco, or any other legendary writer to take on the character, all in an effort to craft a story that honors the character in the best way that we can. That's awesome. Synopsis. Following the tragic death of his former girlfriend... That should be late. His late girlfriend. It just seems like it's like, oh, it's my former girlfriend, because she, died. Anyway, seemingly caused by his own attempt to save her, Peter Parker lingers in his guilt of the past, questioning whether the curse of his alter ego should be buried for good. When he's met by the news that a terminally ill child has requested to meet Spider-Man, Peter contemplates the decision to comfort him in his final days. So it is kind of like a Make-A-Wish scenario. Okay. We decided to primarily take inspiration from Spider-Man Blue, along with many other stories during that era, such as Death and Destiny or Jerry Conway's Run, and The Kid Who Collects Spider-Man, two grounded stories that focus on the melancholic life of the character. Our approach is very character-driven with necessary action, but not an oversaturation of it. Yeah, because you couldn't possibly do it. The suit, designed by Tiago De Trinti. The suit is a modernized version of John Romita Sr., Ross Andrew, and Gil Kane's original artwork with a custom logo created by Evan Jackson. That's pretty cool. Following the initial design, it was projected, and they made it. That's a very good suit. It's very good. Budget, production expenses, talent, post-production, travel, crew. So yeah, so they did hire. So here's the cast. We got Warden Wayne as Peter Parker. He kind of does look like the 70s, 80s Peter Parker. I've known him for nearly 4 years. Our shared creative mindset. So he's like one of the guy's friends. Harry Osborn will be portrayed by Sean Wythe. MJ is Mariah Brooklyn. Tuyen Powell is Gwen Stacy. Max Fox is Tim Harrison, the emotional core of the entire storyline. Faced with the curse of terminal illness, Tim lives his final days with hope and optimism, effortlessly modeling himself off on the icon that he views Spider-Man to be. That's crazy. Well, I mean, all in all, I think that's awesome that they're doing that. And you guys should go check that out. So what are these bundles? You get a Blu-ray copy sold out. So that's okay. So that's interesting. So they're not selling the movie, but if you back them at a certain tier, you get a Blu-ray. So that's an interesting way to do that. So I guess they're sold out of the Blu-rays, but you can do the amazing bundle. Oh, that gets a Blu-ray too, so $300. Awesome. You can get a T-shirt for $50. Live stream, thank you. Digital copy of film. How do you get the? Where are they going to be publishing the movie? Is that the only way to get it through there? No. Are they going to put it up on YouTube? I don't know. But anyway, Spider-Man Lotus. Check it out. I think that's super cool that they're doing that. And yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that when that comes out because I think that's pretty cool. So, yeah. So let's dive into some comic books, yeah? Let's dive into the boxes, on around the boxes. I just wanted to cover those things because that was some stuff kind of going on in the comic book pop culture sphere that I wanted to talk about here. But first, before I dive into my new pickups, which is, the main feature, so to speak, of this show, I did want to show you guys some comics in my collection. So part of Around the Boxes, aside from just showing my pickups, is kind of diving into my collection and highlighting, some of my favorite parts, kind of going through. If you've seen my past episodes, I went through my Amazing Spider-Man Volume 3 collection, my Volume 2, kind of the first run that got me into comics, my 300s run in the 90s, all of that sort of stuff. Today, I want to dive into some non-Spider-Man stuff. In case you couldn't tell from, my glass and my talking about Spider-Man Lotus and Spider-Man No Way Home, obviously Spider-Man is my main thing. Most of these boxes are Spider-Man comics, but as the title of this video suggests, I'm trying to expand my collection a little bit because I don't want to be a one-trick pony. I don't just want to collect Amazing Spider-Man. I want to have some other stuff. So there are some other comic books that have been of interest to me in the past, and I have some of them. And then as you'll see in my pickups, like I said, I got some really awesome stuff this week. And none of the... I got some really awesome pickups that are adding to my Silver Age collection. And specifically, none of them are Spider-Man books. So that's pretty exciting because normally I just get Spider-Man books. Most of my Silver Age books are Spider-Man. But I wanted to show you guys my Silver Age collection that are not Spider-Man, because I have only a small pile of comic books that are not Spider-Man comics that are from the Silver Age. So I wanted to show those to you guys because some of these are really cool. If you've watched my channel since years ago, then you've probably seen these comics before. But there's new viewers coming to the channel, and all those old videos are privated, so there's no other way for you guys to see them. So I wanted to show them to you here. So first, I have some Silver Age Captain America books. So this first one is Captain America 102. Beautiful book. It displays very nicely. Colors are great. I got this one when I was younger for, I think, my birthday or something. My family got it for me. This is the third issue in his series, because Captain America started his own series at 100, coming from Tales of Suspense. I don't have any Tales of Suspense comics. Never really dived into those. I might get some in the future because I would be interested in more Silver Age Captain America. I just am not a huge fan of Tales of Suspense being Captain America and Iron Man. I don't really care as much about Iron Man comics. My brother was always the big Iron Man collector, so he has a bunch of Tales of Suspense. But maybe in the future I'd look to get some. But for now, leaving it at that. I don't know why I'm putting that over there. Then, this is a gorgeous book. I think I bought this at a convention. This was Captain America 107. Beautiful cover. It's got Bucky, Red Skull, beautiful, beautiful cover there. Pretty solid copy, mid-grade, but it really just displays really well, so I really like that one. But those are my only Captain America ones. Then I have some Avengers comics. This first one is Avengers number 20. Got it in a polypropylene bag, so it doesn't display the greatest. But this one is very special to me. This was my first Silver Age Avengers book, but I remember getting this at a local comic store back when I was in middle school, and being really, really excited about it. And then I remember for a little while I traded it to my brother because he really wanted it. And we traded for something, I don't remember what. And I always kind of regretted that. I always really wanted it back, and I was really sad about it because I was so excited when I got it, and then I traded it away. So I remember at one point we were trading. We used to trade all the time. Me and my brother and our two friends would get together because we all collected comic books, and we would trade all the time. It was like trading cards. And I remember at one point me and my brother were discussing a trade, and I put this back on the table. I was like, let me get that back. I want that back. So it's back in my hands, and never letting it go again. Then I got Avengers 27. This is the lineup with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, which is awesome. Scarlet Witch is a very cool character. I don't care very much about Hawkeye or Quicksilver, but Cap is, of course, you gotta have Cap in the Avengers, and then Scarlet Witch is awesome. Big fan of her in the MCU, so that's a cool book to have. This next book I actually have 2 copies of. This is Avengers 28, the first appearance of the Collector, who was in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, as well as Infinity War. So I have a very low-grade copy. I actually got my high-grade copy first. I got this at a local comic book store for a great price, and this was right before Guardians of the Galaxy came out. They had announced that Collector was going to be in it, and I saw this at the store, and I figured it was a great key issue to pick up because he was going to be in the movie, so I figured this would go up in value. So I had this high-grade copy, and then I was at a store and saw another copy that is lower grade, but it was so cheap that I figured I might as well pick it up because, you know, with it being a key issue and whatnot. But this one is, I mean, there's damage all down the spine. There's someone scribbled all over it with pen. It's very low grade, but it's nice to have. But this one definitely is much nicer. Then I have Avengers 44. This is the second appearance of Red Guardian. I do not have the first appearance. I really want it. Maybe I'll get it at some point. But this is another one of those comics that I traded around a lot. I think my brother had this for a while, and then I had it for a while, and now it is mine. So I really liked the Red Guardian when I was growing up. I don't know why. I just thought he was cool. Interesting kind of mirror to Cap. So that's why I really wanted that book. This next one, Avengers 53. It's Avengers versus the X-Men. I mean, instant classic, right? Obviously. This is the only Silver Age comic book I have that features the X-Men, because I do not collect X-Men comics really at all. For some reason, I've just never really been interested in them. Maybe I will dive into them in the future. I mean, I could look into some Silver Age X-Men books, but it's never really interested me too much. But they are really cool, so I might look into it. Like I said, I'm looking to expand my collections, so that might be one route I go. But it's more likely that I would just get more Avengers books. But here's Avengers 56 with Bucky. And that is my last Silver Age Avengers book. So I definitely would like to get more Silver Age Avengers books, especially before issue, I think it's 16 when they changed the roster. I want the OG roster. I mean, those books are awesome. But next, the rest of these books are series that I am looking to get more books in, and you'll actually see some that I got today. So when I was kind of thinking, okay, what do I want to collect outside of Amazing Spider-Man, I was thinking of characters that I really like and that I would love to get more Silver Age books. The first one that came to mind is actually the Hulk. I loved Hulk when I was a kid. He was actually my favorite superhero before Spider-Man. When I was like a young kid, I loved Hulk. Because there was that Hulk movie that was out, not the Incredible Hulk, the one before it. And I had like a big Hulk plush toy. I had the Hulk fists and Hulk poster and all of that. But then pretty soon I dropped him for Spider-Man. But this is Hulk 103 with the space parasite. That's just a great cover. And I love Silver Age Hulk comics. They're just so cool. I mean, they're kind of campy, and I like that. But I have this one, Hulk 110, with Umbu, the Unliving. Whoever owned this thought it necessary to write their name over and over inside of the title, but whatever. But those are the only two Silver Age Hulk comics that I have, so looking to expand that. I have some that I'm going to show you in a little bit, but I don't want to reveal too much. Next, you guys may remember I picked this up probably a month or two ago, and showcased it right here on Around the Boxes. This was Fantastic Four issue 40. This is another series that I really want to dive into, is getting some more Fantastic Four books, because I really like the Fantastic Four. I think they're really cool, and their Silver Age books, I mean, they're just classic because they were the OG Marvel superhero comic book. I mean, they were the first one, and you can really tell Stan Lee and Jack Kirby put in some of their best work on Fantastic Four. I mean, Doctor Doom, the Watcher, the Inhumans, Galactus, Silver Surfer. I mean, there's so many awesome characters that feature prominently in the Fantastic Four, so I would love to get more Silver Age Fantastic Four. The last few books here are for who I would consider my second favorite superhero. My favorite is obviously Spider-Man, but after that would have to be Thor. I love Thor. Thor is awesome, and you know, I'm Norwegian, so Thor's a Norse god, so naturally. But this is a gem that I got a few years ago. I was never even big into collecting Thor, but I picked up a few of these over the years, and this one is just awesome. Journey into Mystery 89. I mean, what a beautiful comic book. Traded for this, or bought it off of Lee Kirby Ditko Comics on YouTube. You can go check him out. He was the guy I got my Amazing Spider-Man 3 from, but I remember I traded for this. I don't remember what I traded or what I spent or any of that. But this is class. I mean, it's like the 6th appearance, 7th appearance of Thor. Beautiful Jack Kirby cover. I mean, that's just a classic. So, awesome comic book. Got that in the top loader because it's just beautiful. This one, I remember I got this at a convention. I think I got this at SuperCon in Miami, Florida. It was Journey into Mystery 108 with Loki. It also has Doctor Strange, which is very cool. But I remember I specifically picked this out because, I mean, it's Thor and Loki. You know, you gotta want that, right? So, this next book from my Silver Age collection is Journey into Mystery 118 with the first appearance of the Destroyer. I think I got this at a convention as well. I think it was SuperCon as well. But Destroyer, of course, was in the first Thor movie. So I figured that was a great key issue to pick up. Beautiful cover. It's missing a little chip out of the corner, but displays really well. So that's an awesome book. This next one, last one, Journey into Mystery 121 with Absorbing Man. It's a cool book. Previously owned by Randy, whoever that is. But yeah, that is my entire Silver Age collection that is not Amazing Spider-Man. If I added my Amazing Spider-Mans into there, it would probably double the size, which is still not that big. Because, you know, growing up when I was a kid, Silver Age books were pretty rare and they were pretty expensive. And nowadays, they're even more expensive, especially Spider-Man books. One of the reasons I got a lot of non-Spider-Man books this week is because Spider-Man books are so expensive. I mean, I bought a lot of these from some comic stores I went to, as well as off of eBay, and just browsing and looking around and finding some good prices. And Amazing Spider-Man Silver Age comics are expensive. Crazy expensive. Excuse me. But yeah, so I'm going to dive into my pickups. So these are all the comic books I picked up this episode. So got a decent pile we're adding to the collection. We have some new books. We have some newer back issues. We have some older back issues. And then, of course, the highlight of the video, I have some new Silver Age books that I'm very excited to be adding to the collection. So without further ado, let's dive into it. First book I picked up this week. Well, first of all, I was out of town this past week. I went up to visit family. And we stopped at a few comic stores while we were up there. And so I browsed their selection. Most of them just had newer books, but there were some newer books that I needed because this one, for example, my store had sold out of. This was Miles Morales Spider-Man 30. This came out a few weeks ago, and I wasn't able to pick it up because my store sold out of it. So I was able to grab that so that I wouldn't miss out on that. Thoughts on the issue? About the same as my thoughts on the series. Nothing crazy. You know, they go by so quickly. I'm not a huge fan of the new costume. It's literally just a sweatsuit, which is like cool, I guess. But I thought his old costume was way cooler. But I mean, whatever. Then we had another new issue, Fantastic Four, 37, Legacy 682, coming up on 700. That'll be pretty exciting. I imagine that'll probably happen around, well, no, because Reckoning War is happening this year, so coming up on issue 700, that'll be cool. This was a fun little Halloween kind of one-off that I enjoyed. I thought it was a lot of fun. I feel like Dan Slott is a pretty good fit for Fantastic Four, so hopefully he'll keep going on this run for a little while. Next, we had probably my favorite book that came out in the past couple of weeks, and that is Thor, number 18. I mean, I put him in my thumbnail because he is just glorious. Throg is awesome, and what a great story. If you're not, I'm telling you right now, if you're not reading this Thor run, you're missing out on something really, really good. I mean, it's written by Donny Cates, which I think should be all you need to know, but it is so, so good. I mean, every arc has been so enjoyable, and this issue had me cracking up because it's funny, but it's not a comedy. I mean, it's really just what I love about Thor. I mean, if you go back to Silver Age Thor, it's like campy and mystical and mythological. I mean, you have the Rainbow Bridge and the Enchantress and Loki, and it's like kind of goofy, but it's also very, magical and mythological. This is the same way. Like, it's cool and badass, but it's also just, it doesn't take itself too seriously. One thing I did think was funny, I'm going to actually pull it out so I can show you guys. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, or maybe I'm missing something, but the main arc of this book, without spoiling anything, is that Mjolnir is missing. Thor's hammer is missing, and he needs someone to find it. So he's, going to commission Loki, and then ultimately going to ask Throg to find it. And in the scene where he appears to Throg, there's a panel here where right there in his hand is Mjolnir. So unless I'm mistaken and that's just like some different hammer, it's not the hammer, I was just like, did the artist mess up? Like, did they forget that he doesn't have Mjolnir? Because it's just right there in the panel, which I thought was a little funny. But I don't want to spoil anything else about this book. Go pick it up. Go read it. It was so funny. Honestly, it is a great jumping on point to the series. So if you have not been picking it up and you want to start picking it up, start with this issue, because it kind of gets you caught up. All you need to know is that Thor is the king of Asgard, and he is missing his hammer. Those are really the only things you need to know to jump in with this issue, and it's just so funny. It was so good. So, loved it. So excited for the next one. And the cover for the next issue looks insane. Let me show you guys this comic book. This is a proper Thor cover. Look at that. That is beautiful. I'm putting that in Mylar. I want to get that graded, slabbed. I mean, that is just, ooh, that's a beautiful cover. So, just saying, now is the time to jump into Thor. I'm loving that run so much. And then, of course, my main man, Spider-Man. Got Amazing Spider-Man 77, Legacy 878. Beyond Chapter 3. I really like this issue. I have been enjoying every issue they've been coming out with, to be honest. I liked how this kind of slowed things down a little bit, gave us a look into Ben Reilly's kind of work-life situation, kind of establishing some character. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. But yeah, not much else to say. The cover's a little weird, but also doesn't make any sense because he didn't fight. Did he fight anyone in this comic book? He fought Morbius in this comic book. I don't know. I guess that's from training. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it was good. I'm looking forward to next issue next week to see where this goes. So, all in all, I've been enjoying Beyond. I think I can be positive about it because I know that it is limited. It is ending after 19 parts, and Peter Parker will be back even before then. So, it's temporary. Next up, I have some Amazing Spider-Man Volume 5 issues. As you guys may know, if you've been keeping up with this series, I am trying to fill in the gaps from when I stopped picking up comics, basically. I stopped picking up comics for about 2 years, up until about 6 months ago. And so I missed a huge gap of Volume 5 from right around issue 31 until I started picking up again around 62, I think. So every week when I go to the store, I go and pick out a couple of issues that I'm missing because I don't want to have that gap in my collection, because other than that gap, I have every Amazing Spider-Man issue all the way back to 700. So trying to kind of fill that gap. And once I fill the Volume 5 gap, then I can go back and extend down from 700 because I do have a little bit of a run in the 670s, and then just kind of keep going back from there. And extend, because I have a run from like 320 to 420, or like 413. So if I could fill the gap between 415 and 700, then I would have every Amazing Spider-Man issue from 320 to current, which ultimately my long-term goal with collecting is to have every single issue of Amazing Spider-Man. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to fill in this gap in Volume 5, and then I'm going to extend the late end of my run and the beginning of my run and kind of fill in that middle and go from there. And then, of course, all the while getting Silver Age and Bronze Age books, but I'm going to kind of dive backwards from those. So once I fill in that gap, then I'll get the rest of the Todd McFarlane 300s and then go into the 200s and kind of fill in my collection that way. So, but these Volume 5 issues, I got 32. Nice cover. 2099 is in trouble. Nice copy there. I got 43 with Dog on the cover and Boomerang. 58 and 59, and then 61, which is the new costume, new job. So at this point, I've filled in most of the gap. I'm just missing 55, which is the last part of Last Remains. That's a pretty expensive issue, but it's like $30, so I'll be able to get it soon enough. And then I'm missing some in the 40s and 30s, and then I'll be done with that. So I should be able to finish up that run relatively soon. Going from there, I picked up a few other modern era Amazing Spider-Man back issues. This first one I picked up just because it was cool. 534 Civil War issue. Nothing too fancy, but I've been trying to get a couple books here and there from the 500s, just kind of filling in my Volume 2 collection. So picked that up. These next two were great finds. I think I've talked about this before on the channel, but just in case I haven't, or for anyone new, I first started picking up... Oh, I definitely talked about this in the Around the Boxes episode. I think it was episode 2. It was my the Amazing Spider-Man run that got me into modern comic books. The first comic book I ever picked up off the shelf, brand new, was Amazing Spider-Man 666. And I picked that up for about 10 issues, 15 issues. I picked it up until around 682. And then I kind of fell off. And then I didn't pick it up again until 700 happened, because I heard about Peter dying and Superior Spider-Man, and I was intrigued. And so I went out and I got Superior Spider-Man issue 1. I started picking up from there and never stopped until 2 years ago when I took a break. And so I did not have 698, 699, or 700. So I picked up a third printing of 698 and a second printing, or a variant cover or something, of 700, because I couldn't find the first printings. They were sold out. Well, a couple years later, I got a first printing of 700 because a friend of mine, Lee Kirby Dicko Comics, actually, when I traded with him for my issue 3, he threw it in for free, which was awesome. But I never had a 698 or 699. Well, I was at a comic store this past week, and I found both of those. They were in the box. They were like $4 a piece, which is basically cover price. So, I mean, they're not worth that much more than that, but I mean, getting both first printings at cover price in 9.8 condition is pretty awesome. So now I have the whole Dying Wish story arc, which is one of my favorite story arcs in the last 20 years. I mean, I think it's really great. So pretty excited about that. And that's where what I need to do is, after I fill my volume 5 collection, I need to extend back from here with 697, 696, 695 going back to 682, because then I will have from issue 666 all the way to current. And then from there, it's easy enough. You can buy the 600s issues for cover price pretty regularly. There's not very many key issues that are worth a lot of money. There are some, but it's not a lot. So then I could start picking up 665, 63, 2, 1, and kind of add to my run and have a 200 issue. I mean, what's the most recent? 890 something? No. Where is it? The most recent issue is 878, so I would have a 212 issue run of Spider-Man, which would be pretty cool. So that's kind of what I'm going to be working on in the near future. Last back issue I have here before I dive into my Silver Age comic books. This is a Bronze Age Spider-Man book that I just picked out because I thought it was cool. It was Amazing Spider-Man 204. I saw it's early 200s. It's a Black Cat issue, pretty good condition. It was $5, so I figured, yeah, what the heck, I will get it. And it's pretty cool book. So nothing crazy, but I didn't have it, so filling in the collection slowly but surely. So not much to say about that. Now, I told you guys I had some Silver Age books to show you, and I'm here to show you them. So I picked up 4 Silver Age comic books this week. I'm pretty excited about these books. They're nothing too crazy, but I thought they were pretty great finds. I got them for pretty great prices. So, and they're a variety of different characters and series, because as the title mentions, as I've mentioned this entire stream, I am trying to expand my collection. I want to start collecting things other than just Amazing Spider-Man. Mainly focusing on these additional 3, plus Avengers. I didn't pick up any Avengers books this week. I would like to get some Silver Age Avengers books, but aside from those, as I mentioned when I was going through my collection, I want to get more Hulk comics, I want to get more Thor comics, and I want to get more Fantastic Four comics. So that is what I picked up this week. So the first comic book I picked up is this Tales to Astonish 73. This is a when it was Submariner and the Hulk. Obviously, I don't care very much about the Submariner, so I picked this up for the Hulk. But I got this on eBay for a great deal. I think it was like $10, something like that. But I picked it out because, I mean, it's Silver Age Hulk. It's pretty old. I mean, it's got the old Marvel Comics Group 12-cent label. But it has the Watcher on the cover, which I think is awesome. Especially, I mean, the Watcher has been in What If recently, officially canon in the MCU. So I thought, you know, it would be cool to add some books to the collection that featured the Watcher. So he is on the cover there, and I think that's a really awesome pickup. So pretty mid to low grade. There's some browning along the edges, but no major chips, no major cuts. It's actually, you know, the edges are in pretty good condition. There's some creases and wearing on the spine, but nothing too crazy. So very happy with that pickup. I think that's an awesome addition to the collection. So very excited about that. This next book is actually one that I wanted for a while. I remember seeing this years and years ago and wanting it for a reason I'm sure you guys will understand as soon as I show it to you. And I always thought it was super expensive. I don't know if I'm just misremembering this, but I swear it was always really expensive. But I got it for a great deal. I think I paid like $15 for this book, maybe $20, definitely not more than $20. But this is The Incredible Hulk 104 with the Rhino. Obviously, I wanted this because it has the Rhino, Spider-Man villain, of course. But, I mean, what an awesome... I mean, the Hulk and Rhino is an awesome matchup. But this is a great copy. The edges are super clean. The colors are very nice. I mean, you can just see it popping on the camera there. Those colors are beautiful. The main thing detracting from its quality, there is tape up the spine. But, I mean, you hardly even notice it. And it really just displays beautifully. So... really great condition, and an awesome book. I got some Silver Age Hulk with the Rhino. Yes, please. I will take it. So this is probably one of my favorite books I picked up this week. I'm very excited about this copy because I think that is just awesome. Next, those are my Hulk comics. Next, I got a Thor comic book. So I bought this one at one of the comic stores I visited when I was at home. This is Journey into Mystery 122 with the Mighty Thor. I got this one because it was a pretty good price, pretty good condition, awesome Odin cover. It's actually the follow-up to the other one I had, because I have 121, and this is 122. But classic, just Odin on the cover. You got Thor over here. I just think that's a great cover, really awesome book. Really excited about that. Just great copy. The main wear and tear is over on the spine over here. I don't know how well you can see it on the camera. Right here and kind of over this text is the main damage to it. Someone in the past, the dreaded tape pull right there. I am all too familiar with the dreaded tape pull, but we don't talk about that here. We don't talk about that. So... yeah, awesome pickup. Really excited about it. Silver Age Thor comic. I mean, that's just awesome. You know, this is the last book that I picked up this week. I was very excited about this store that I was at. It's the same one I bought that. It's the same one I bought that Thor comic at. They had them all in the glass cases, and you had to ask to see them, and some of them didn't have price tags on them, so you had to ask, and they would go price it for you. It was kind of a pain, but this next comic book was in the Fantastic Four pile. And I immediately saw it and was like, oh my gosh, I want this comic. And I dreaded asking how much it cost because I was so sure that it was going to come back and be more than I could afford. But it wasn't. It was actually a pretty great price. So as soon as they told me how much, I think it was like $30. As soon as they said $30, I was like, yep, I'll take it. Because one of the reasons I mentioned I wanted to start getting Fantastic Four comics is because it features a lot of really cool characters. Well, this comic features two of those characters that I think are really cool. This is Fantastic Four issue 72 with this gorgeous Silver Surfer cover with the Watcher in the background there. I mean, that is just awesome. What a beautiful... Any Silver Age Fantastic Four comic that has the Watcher or Silver Surfer, I'm interested in it. Next up, I need a comic with Galactus. I would love a Silver Age Galactus FF book. But this cover is just awesome. I love, having the Watcher in the back amidst space. It just really reminds me of What If, the new Disney Plus show. So it felt like the perfect time to get this comic, but pretty good condition. Edges are clean. There's some creases, some kind of dirt on it. The main damage, I don't even know what that is, but right there. It's almost like it was like some kind of residue from a sticker or burnt or something. I don't know what caused that, but it displays really well. I mean, you can see all the artwork and Silver Age Silver Surfer. I mean, that's an awesome pickup. So I was very excited to add that to my Fantastic Four collection because that is an awesome book. So those are my Silver Age pickups. Hopefully I didn't overhype that. I mean, I think these are super cool, so hopefully you guys think these are super cool. It was exciting for me because prior to these books, I hadn't bought a Silver Age comic book in years. I don't actually remember the last time I bought a Silver Age comic book because I only just got back into collecting a few months ago, and it's been mostly modern back issues like you guys saw, like trying to get Volume 5, trying to get, other like relatively inexpensive books. So this was my first time kind of diving back into some Silver Age comic books in a while, and it just immediately reignited that spark of comic collecting that I've been missing for a long time. Just the excitement of getting some old comic books that are just a piece of history. It started with the first two. I got the Thor and the Fantastic Four at one of those comic stores when I was visiting home, and then I immediately just hopped on eBay and started looking for good deals, and that's where I got these two Hulk comics, was on eBay, because I found them and for great prices, and they were really cool, and I just bought them. So that is my pickups for this week. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. I will try to be sticking to regular schedule with these Around the Boxes streams, so I will have the next one next Thursday. What I will say, I'm going to give you guys a little teaser now. Next Thursday, my pickups. It's not necessarily going to be a lot of comic books for my pickups, because it's only going to be, the new books that come out on Wednesday, and if I buy any back issues or anything. But there is a book that I ordered online. I tweeted about this. I haven't revealed what it is, but I tweeted about how I had found a great deal on an absolute gold mine of a comic book, and I bought it, and that will hopefully be in next week's Around the Boxes. Depends on when it gets delivered. It's coming in the mail. It's supposed to arrive on Wednesday. I do these streams on Thursday, so it should be here in time. I don't know, but believe me when I say, if you are a fan of Amazing Spider-Man, and if you've watched my channel for a while, you're going to want to tune into that episode next week, because this book is a gem. I mean, it's going to go right up there next to my 2 and my 3 as one of my most treasured comic books in my entire collection. I am so excited for it to arrive, and I'm so excited to show it to you guys and talk about it. So you're going to want to tune into that episode next week. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to reveal what it is. I want it to be a surprise. But it is an awesome pickup. So you guys are going to want to check that out next week. But that's going to do it for this week. I am going to head out, so I will see you guys for that episode next Thursday around the same time, 2 o'clock. I will schedule it around Wednesday, so you'll know for sure when it is or is not going to happen. I kind of want to wait to make sure that comic arrives, so I'll have more information on that. Follow me on Twitter. There's a link in the description if you want to follow me on Twitter, and I will tweet out anything and everything about when that's going to be here. I'll also leave links in the description to Spider-Man Lotus if you want to go check that out. And yeah, that's about it. So hit that like button if you enjoyed. Really the likes of videos get really helps to tell me what you guys enjoy and what you guys don't. So if you do enjoy this content, leave a like, because that will really encourage me to continue making more of it. I mean, I'm gonna continue making what I want to make, but I like to kind of cater to what you guys enjoy. So and leave a comment. What is your top 5 Silver Age series that you like to collect? Because I know a lot of people who follow me collect Amazing Spider-Man as well, but I'm curious what other comics you guys like that you either do collect or would like to dive into. But yeah, that's going to do it for me, so peace out, guys. Thank you for watching.